Yep. Currently this is what dirt I got. It's 1 bag of dehydrated cow manure, 2 bags of yard waste compost, plus these things, which seem to be more about, let me see here, this one is got a lot of peat moss, perlite, some sort of fertilizer, and a wetting agent. This one more peat moss and perlite. And this one, again, peat moss and perlite. You know, I mean, that's light stuff, okay? I mean, I picked it up with one hand, no problem. I mean, don't ask me to pick up the green bag. That with one hand, that is easily 20 pounds. Same thing with the yellow bag. I mean, probably basically, and then of course you got this stuff here. Basically, I got potting mix, and it probably doesn't even amount to 20 pounds between them. You know, worth of weight. I mean, it's kind of, seems that peat moss is just light. You know, I mean, just, you know, you kind of have to wet it. You know, I mean, I might mix it into my garden, you know, next year. But in short, I'm low on dirt. Now, that begs the question: where can I, or indeed you, get more dirt, or compost, or manure, or garden soil? Well, there's a couple of places you could go to, depending on your money, your resources, and time. And well, one solution that you could do is make your own compost. I mean, you know, you can make it from yard waste, kitchen scraps, and a couple other things. Don't ask me how you do that, because I'm not an expert on making compost. But I do know a couple of simple methods, which, depending on your situation, you could do. Now, as I said, you can pick up your garden waste and kitchen scraps. You get some, and maybe shred them up real fine, and then find a place for them to age. know, you set them down, get yourself a nice sized pile, you know, your lawn clippings, your trimmings from your trees, those old papers that you could care less about. You make a nice big pile, and you can let them age, let them break down, and eventually you can get some good compost that way. But you kind of have to wait a bit, you know, nature has to take its course. Now, I got a good pile of it. Now, another thing that you can do, if you got the space and if you are already doing it, and that kind of helps, is if you are a farmer, or if you know a farmer, what you can do is, well, you got livestock, and everybody knows exactly what cows and horses and goats and sheep and pigs and chickens and ducks do, you know. And well, like I've mentioned before, my previous tenant owned goats, and whenever she cleaned out the barn of the manure and the old bedding, she'd place them right in here, you know. And I've actually used, and in fact, she actually used this as a bit of a resource for that garden bed that's out on the other side of that barn, which I've been working on more than a few times. And well, let's put it this way: good aged manure is what a lot of farmers consider black gold. You know, I mean, this stuff, I mean, you can just look at it. Okay, I'll admit there's some potting soil that's been mixed in here. You know, but look, I mean, it's, you know, I mean, I've done some potting soil out in here, you know, because, you know, like that one video, but still, you get, it's nice. This, like I said, is aged goat manure. Most of it. I mean, there is probably some actual dirt in here. And all that sort of stuff. I mean, there's probably some potting soil that's I've tossed out in here. And that can actually help you. And actually, potting soil can help you out. You know, let's say you got a garden plant. I mean, you got a potted plant. Said potted plant died on you, and you got no purpose with that pot at the moment. Toss that on your compost pile. You know, toss the soil on that potting soil on your compost pile. It helps add in a little bit of extra nutrients. You know, you let the worms do their job, and you know, you wait a few months. Helps to be patient. Not quite sure why these tips on here are having issues. Any of you got any ideas? Have you seen a couple of my last videos? I've been taking the tips off of my raspberries and blackberries, and I'm not talking about just doing it on purpose. You know, it's like, you know, I've been seeing some die back, but okay, I'm getting a little off topic with that. But anyways, could be related to some of my pest issues. But anyways, like I said, you take like some old, some potting soil that's been sitting around for a few years. You mix that in with your compost pile. You know, you mix that in. You know, it helps. Actually, it helps to enrich the old potting soil. You know, and a little bit of new stuff always helps that too. You know. Is it doing nicely? Like I said, you mix the good stuff with the old. Well, you mix some of the old stuff in with your compost pile. You and that helps you out. Let's see here. Well, like I said, you know, you make your own compost pile, and if you're a farmer, you can easily use manure from your livestock, you know, horses, goats, pigs, cows, poultry. You know, now you don't want to put the fresh stuff on your plants. That'll just kill them. But, well, with a few exceptions, anyways. But if you let it age, like you know, and you mix it in with bedding, you know, that's the hay that farmers will place underneath their animals, so that way when they get tired of standing around, they can lay on it. And the bedding can be, in my experience, it can be hay, it can be straw, it can be wood chips, shredded newspaper, or anything that is used to try to soak up that moisture and that sort of stuff. And they, you know, at farmers, they'll put that in their manure spreader, and they'll spread that all across their field, and that helps to add nitrogen and phosphorus and all that other stuff. The whole NPK ratio thing, you know, adds that in. Helps the plants to grow. Although your average gardener doesn't want to do that, you want to put that in a spot where it can age. So, and if you got a spot that's out of the way, that your guests aren't gonna look at, that your neighbors aren't gonna look at, and be offended by it. Although in my case, I don't doubt my neighbors would be too offended, you know. But, you know, I doubt my mother would like it if I had a big, huge pile of manure here. She'd probably go, "Andrew, why do you have that big pile of manure there?" On the other hand, place that pile of manure here, it's not bothering anything. It's just useful. So like I said, perhaps you know a farmer who's got some livestock who's more than willing to donate some manure. That's useful. Or maybe you know a riding stable who owns a number of horses. There's a good supply of manure right there. And maybe they're willing to make, and maybe they're selling some of the aged stuff as compost. I mean, there's a riding stable I go to, and they're selling 40 to 50 pound bags of the stuff for just $5. That's a very good deal. I mean, think about it. Basically, you give them $60, you can bring home 600 pounds of the stuff. You know? Well, let me see here. 12 times 40, that's 480. That's here, although 12 times 50, that's 600. Well, you know, like I said, somewhere within that range, you know. Basically, you get more than 400 pounds worth of compost for $60. There's also zoos. There's a number of them around the area that sell what's known as zoo-doo, where they take animal waste from certain animals and they'll compost it and then sell that, you know. And in the case of a riding stable or the zoo, hey, you're benefiting a good cause. I mean, well, good if you like going to riding stables and zoos. And of course, and then there's the nurseries you can go to. Sometimes they'll sell compost, they'll sell garden soil, they'll sell, you know, they'll sell you garden soil, sell you potting soil, sell you compost. But you know, that might help, you know, if you want to go that route. Of course, another option is quite literally go to the big box store. You know, you can go to your Walmart, your Home Depot, your Tractor Supply, your Lowe's, your Kmart, your whatever it is selling gardening supplies. And you can see about making a purchase from them. And now that's a shame. It's always a shame to find one or more of your stems that you're trying to grow haven't been broken by the wind or what have you. But that happens. And now if this was a fresh break, you could try making some cuttings from this. But looks like this break happened the other day, and well, no sense in keeping it, which is a shame. But like I said, you can, if you want more dirt, you can make it yourself. You know, using your own yard waste. You know, your leaves, your grass clippings, your prunings from when you're cleaning up your trees and bushes and all that sort of things. Although you kind of have to be careful with some of that, because you might not want that sprouting back up. Not to mention papers and all that. You know, then there's paper and all that sort of stuff you can add too. You know. Whatever it is okay, I might want to move that. Hopefully it didn't break anything. Maybe it did. Well, let's see. I'll have to take another look. Well, like I said, you can make it yourself. Maybe you know a farmer who has some manure that's been sitting around, you know, for a couple of years. You can use that. I mean, that is, like I said, that is black gold to a gardener. I mean, you know, basically you let your manure age a year or two. Same thing with the rest of your compost. You let that age at least a year or two before you think about putting that around your garden. Then there's you can go to your local riding stables or your zoos. You make a donation, you can get yourself a bag of their stuff or more. And then there's the big box stores. And here's the trick when it comes to the big box stores. Buy the bigger bag. I mean, let me give you an example. I was at one of my stores that I tend to go to, at Home Depot. I was looking at a bag. It was a Miracle-Gro bag. You know, it was a cubic feet. You know, cubic foot worth of potting soil. And it was potting soil, I believe. I think it was a Miracle-Gro. Don't quote me on all that. I can't quite remember at the moment. And it was going for $7. Well, I saw that. I was looking at the exact, just right next to it was the 2 cubic foot bag. That was going for $10. So basically, getting the 2 cubic foot bag was the same as buying one of the 1 foot bag, 1 foot cubic bags, and getting the other one for half off. Getting the second one for half off. But of course, if you was to get 2 1 foot bags, you'd probably be paying $14. And that's not including taxes. So, like I said, when you're buying dirt, you might want to get the bigger bags because they're going to be a little bit cheaper overall. Of course, if you only have a small garden and you just, you know, or you're just filling a couple of pots, be smart and don't go overboard. Oh, man. I'm going to have to get my pruners out for that one. Yeah, I'm going to have to get my pruners out anyways. Got a number of breaks. You'd have to thin these things out anyways. And, well, like I said, you know, you buy from the big bucks. You know, you look for the nice site. I mean, you buy what you need. I mean, you know, don't go. I mean, if you don't have the space and you don't have the money, don't go overboard. Don't go crazy. And my mother's like, Andrew, do me a favor, don't go overboard this year when you're buying dirt. Okay, Mama, I won't go overboard when it comes to buying the dirt. That being said, when I am going to be buying the stuff is probably going to be during the winter. You know, again, and I'm going to look for the stuff that's on sale, and that's the stuff I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy the stuff that they're trying to get rid of. You know, look for the stuff that's on sale. And then you can buy yourself a nice quantity. Now, as I said, I don't know if I'm going to go completely overboard. I don't think I'm going to go overboard, but I mean, I might buy some stuff that I'm going to probably need to help enrich my garden. I mean, you know, probably something with some nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and all that sort of stuff. Hands falling, fingers are falling asleep on me. You know, yeah, wild raspberries, black raspberries, yellow ones. I mean, and then there's the blackberries. You know, that's all doing good so far, as you can see. Mom's brown-eyed Susans, the roses. Real surprising, you know, with this one, you know. I hacked off a good deal of it, and it's got some good roses. These ones are doing pretty good too. Everything else seems to be doing fine. Grapevines seem to be doing okay. I'm probably going to end up having to. This one here's starting to make another flower. Eventually, I'm going to see about trellising up, tying up my grapevines. My gladiolas are doing okay. Coneheads are doing pretty good. The coneflowers. Tomatoes seem to be doing okay. Peppers seem to be doing okay. Geraniums doing fine. Squash seems to be doing okay. I don't know if we're going to get anything on it, but let's see. Seems maybe one neighbor's baling his hay. Coincidentally, I had a little talk with him about picking up some of his aged manure. I might do that in the spring, though. Might have to talk to him again about that, because he does have some nice piles. And like I said, basically, when they got, a lot of, if you're being smart about having aged manure, you want to make sure, and you want to use that as compost, you got to make sure you mix with, some bedding and that sort of stuff, some plant waste. Here I go through the effort of planting these things, and and the birds are the ones reaping the rewards. Oh, for them. They gotta laugh at that. But, we'll see what happens. Maybe I'll get some luck. And maybe there'll be some berries for me next year. Same with the honeyberries. I mean, there wasn't any flowers on them this year, so we'll see what next year brings. Gooseberries, I can't wait to see either. Same with the currants. I mean, there wasn't anything on these currants this year. I mean, this one did have a small cluster, but that fell off or something. And as for the grapes, well, they seem to be doing okay. Don't know about the kale. Probably know more about that in a couple of weeks. And I'm probably going to need to get some string to do some tying of my grapevines. Although I might do that in the beginning of spring, after the winter and all. Well, this is Western New York. Subscribe if you like this. Hit the like button. And all that sort of stuff. Post comments. Hit the like button. Tell me what you think of these videos. Okay? Goodbye.